Submission Underground is great. I got to tell you, let's start at the main event. The main event was going to be a very interesting match because you have Mason Fowler, who has established himself at the best grappler in the world under the unified rules, but he was going to take on Boogie, who's just a problem for everyone. Boogie's understanding as well as his flexibility and his strat, it's just a problem. It's one that if you're in Mason's spot, let's get this guy and let's get him behind me as quickly as possible because he's not going to go away. So they go out there, they have their match, and Mason was very respectful of what I just said as it pertains to Boogie's strategies and techniques and understanding should they reach the overtime, because Mason went on a sprint. There was 25 seconds left, and Mason Fowler came at Richie with such an extreme urgency, an urgency to not get this into a coin toss. And it was just incredible to really watch Mason open up and to see him, even for these 25 seconds, want something and go after it ferociously. Oh, by the way, and find it. I mean, he really helped to solidify why he is the king right now. Alimale McFarlane, Jessica Ai. Interesting match and one that you could never get together, right? I mean, a cross promotion, Bellator versus the UFC, and it was very close. Very, very close. And one thing with Jessica Ai that's happening in front of my face, I'm watching her get better. I'm seeing the former #1 contender getting better. And I think that her immersion into grappling is a big part of why. To refine that and sharpen that and have it a little more refined and a little sharper than your opponents once you get into MMA, it's a real help. And Alimale came over for that same reason. Alimale lost her championship, but she was more bothered by the fact that her tool that should have been sharpest wasn't when she needed it most. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do what Jessica's doing. I'm going to focus on this for a minute. I'm going to get this back before I go back in to the cage. Very interesting. Amanda Lowen had her hardest match. Roxanne Modafferi, she pushed Amanda. Amanda's never been pushed like that. And Amanda might not admit this to you. Amanda's a tough girl and she's very stoic. But I have seen all of Amanda's matches, and I'm telling you, she has never been pushed like she was pushed by Roxanne. And I talked to Roxanne after the match. I said, hey, that Amanda, she as strong as everyone says she is? Roxanne said, yeah, man, she's good. She's very good. We then had a tag team match. Now, if you've never seen tag team at Submission Underground, go right now. Go to the archives right now at UFC Fight Pass. The tag team is ridiculous. And I don't love that part of it. I don't love the silliness of it. It's fierce competition. Both sides are coming in with a clear strategy and a plan to win, a plan of communication and teamwork. But it ends up being so hilarious every time that it's hard to accept how competitive this actually is. And we had the number 8 guy in the world in Ricky Simone in there with his cousin John. Ricky is trying to get John a spot on the Contender Series and came and loaned himself to this event just so he could help John get exposure. I mean, very cool thing, okay? They're going to take on Mike and Willie. Well, picture this at one point. If you're the guy that's out, you have to hold on to a rope that's 12 inches long. If your hand leaves that rope, you're in violation. Now, let's say there is a tag. The person that makes the tag has to be out and in possession of the rope within 3 seconds or they're in violation. Those 3 seconds were written and designed to give you a minute to get the hell off the mat and get to where you're supposed to be. Instead of that being the interpretation, the athletes have interpreted, no, that gives us 3 seconds to double team this guy. So at one point, John Simone is on Willie's back, right? Full rear naked choking. Willie's on his feet and just starts running. As he's losing blood flow to his head, he runs over and tags his partner. Before Simone could let go of the man, Willie, who is now out, Willie goes unconscious. Well, because Mike is tagged in, Mike enters the melee. He ends up double legging and begins to leg lock his own partner. You know what? It's so hard to explain. It's so hard to explain what just happened, but you heard me right. The guy double-legged and then leg locked the wrong guy. And that was before John could get over and tag cousin Ricky back in. I mean, it was just a mess, and I can't remember a grappling event that I've had more fun. And I have a lot of fun at these. I don't know if I've had a bad experience. I don't know if I've ever had more fun. Then Andy Varela gets over on Ishii, but Varela also had Ishii in jeopardy more times and for more minutes than Mason or Craig combined had Ishii in trouble. Now, what does that mean? What does a common opponent mean? Well, when it's all you have to go off of, it means everything. Because Varela is now going to draw into, on April 25th, he's going to go against Mason. They have a common opponent. That's all they know about one another. I don't have a whole lot more to tell you. But Varela looked good. He's the new #1 contender, and that is your Submission Underground recap.